So in Python, there are a few mechanisms that allow us to get information about a module. And this is sort of what I would say is a plan B. My plan A for getting information about a module is to look up the actual documentation of that module. And if you just, let's say you wanted to find out about the turtle module, I would just say Python turtle module docs. Okay, and then it takes me straight to the turtle graphics library where I can get detailed information about literally everything that turtle module can do. So if you want to find out about a module, a search strategy like that will most often take you directly to the documentation, which is really good, really detailed. Now, for some reason, you can't find that documentation or your module isn't behaving the way you think it is. There is a way that you can get information about a module from inside Python. And I'm going to show you that right now. So if I import random, I import that whole module of random. And I want to find out, well, what things does random do for me? The old school Python way is a directory command. And directory returns all kinds of things about this module. So if I say directory random, like this, and then I run that, oops, got to print it because it's a return something. Here's what I get back. Okay, directory random returns a list. And that list contains several things. And you can see this is a big one. This has a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to very quickly, since this returns a list, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put that in an actual list object, and I'm going to say for item in LIDR print. I'm just going to print those vertically because it's a little bit easier to read. Item. Okay, so there are all of the things in that random module. So let's take a look. I want to show you kind of how you can determine what's there so you can kind of see it. Anytime you see something that is in all caps like this, that is indicative that this is a constant. So it's a variable where the value is not designed to change. Many of these constants are just utilities to be used inside that module. And usually the constants are listed first when you list a module directory. Interspersed with that, you will see words like this, random with a capital, and system random. Those are objects that exist within there. Now, you don't really understand what an object is, but you don't need to right now. Just know that that's what that is. Next, you're going to see a bunch of variables and constants that have underscores, either 1 or 2 underscores. Anytime you see this in Python with the underscores before and after something, that is a special variable and they're usually created automatically. So the person that created random didn't actually write these. These are system level things that exist when you create a module. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a little bit. But a lot of these with the double underscores are automatically created. Now these are special variables that were specifically created inside that module. They're not generally things that you use. Now, once we get past all of the underscores, you will see a bunch of things that are lowercase Notice they're all lowercase, no underscores, no punctuation. These are functions that live inside that module. So these are things that you can do. And you'll notice, right? We've got randint. We've used that one. And we've got random choice. And there's also a random choices. I'm guessing that you can figure out what that one does. But these are all different functions that exist in random. And those kind of go all the way to the end, and they're in alphabetical order, typically. So that is sort of how you use the directory function to see what's there. There's one more trick, and this one uses PyCharm and its autocomplete feature. But if I say random and I hit a dot, what I get is I get the objects and the functions, and they're labeled. Objects are labeled with a C for class. Functions have a little red dot next to them for function. And so that's there. And what you'll notice is those special variables are pretty much gone from this. So these are the actual things that you can use inside random. So that's very useful. So if I want to do random choice, and I can type this here, it gives me the parameter. But here's an interesting thing you can do. In this little pop-up, these are actual links to the documentation online. So I click that, and it takes me straight to the documentation for that library, that module. So it's really, really useful. And that's something that PyCharm does for you automatically. It gives you the ability to really quickly and easily find out details about the parts of a library, which is really nice. So easiest way to do that is to just take that object. You have to import it first, and then you just wrap it in the directory function, and it prints random. So the interesting thing here is if I run a directory just like this without any options in it, it's giving me, gave me an error because of that. But if I run that without any options, directory will give me what libraries I've loaded here. Notice directory is giving me all of these. Those are actually special variables that are created when you run a program. So these all exist. We're not going to get into those for this class, but those are just extras. You can always tell by the double underscore.